Hey y'all, Iric Guy here, and first of all I want to thank all my viewers for letting me know that the firmware update that works has been released. And as you can see here, I'm on HDMI 2 that I don't have anything plugged into, but I'm able to power the TV on and off. I'm able to access Vizio's Smart TV functionality. I'm able to use SmartCast. I'm able to, now AirPlay, it worked, but it wasn't really that great. But I'm able to use all the apps that are built into the TV now, which, you know, I'm probably not going to use them anyway because I use a Fire Stick 4K. I like the Amazon ecosystem better. With that said, I couldn't be happier. The firmware update, it installed. It did not brick the TV this time. Again, I kept my Wi-Fi off for multiple days after performing a factory reset. You know, and after I did the factory reset and I disabled Wi-Fi, there was no way for the TV to connect automatically to the internet and automatically download another firmware that would break it. So now it's got a good firmware. Hopefully Vizio has learned a lesson, and hopefully Vizio knows that before you push a new firmware version to your customers, before you push an updated firmware to production, you should always test it. You should always test it in a non-production environment. So they made a big mistake, but the firmware that I have now works. Hopefully they've learned, hopefully Vizio has learned from their mistake. Hopefully Vizio will not release future firmware versions that brick the TV. Never received a call back from Vizio support, never received an update from Vizio support by way of social media. You know, and I understand these are challenging times right now, but hopefully Vizio support is typically better than they were with this, because the only way I found out that the new firmware was available and that I could install it were a few of y'all that were watching my previous videos where I reported the problem with my Vizio. And again, this is the 40-inch Vizio 4K version. Very nice TV. And again, the only complaint I had was when I took it out of the box, the firmware update bricked it. So, you know, that was a pretty big complaint, but it's, you know, this tells me, this has confirmed that, hey, it was software related, it was firmware related. Now that they've sorted out their firmware issue, I have no problems with the TV. But again, I still use my Fire Stick 4K just because I like Amazon's ecosystem. But the picture quality on this is great. It says no input, power will be turned off. And that's important because I use the power saving feature. You know, I try to save, I nickel and dime myself in any way that I can. So I'm always trying to save, excuse me, I got the hiccups, trying to save power. And sure enough, it powered off, so that's good. But yeah, I just promised to post this update. And thanks again to everyone that shared workaround ideas, that also you know, told me, hey man, I've updated my TV and it fixed my TV. You should try your firmware update too. And I'm glad I did, because now all of these issues have been resolved. Again, I wish that Vizio support had been a little bit, well, not just a little bit more responsive, but I wish they had been responsive and said, hey, you know, it's fixed. You know, we see that you've registered your TV. You can now download a functional firmware. But instead, it's almost like they tried to cover up the fact that they had released a firmware version that was obviously not thoroughly tested before it hit production. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I got a good deal on this TV. I love this TV. It's really good. Oh, and I got this soundbar too. And this is a Vizio soundbar. You can check out my separate video where I review that. And you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find the Vizio TV, the soundbar. Obviously, it's with a wireless subwoofer. So, good stuff. Glad this is resolved. One less issue to track. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe to youtube.com/IricSky. And when you do, ring that bell icon, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain IricSky here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IricSky. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.